Alright, let's begin. First game today is going to be in the NWL North American Lexicon. I will be going first. Okay, so a bit of a junky wreck. I think we will just exchange. Keep EL. Dump to rest. I mean, you know, there are some things that are playable, but better to just throw it in. Master Typo, welcome. Alright, this is almost something useful. We'll find out soon enough if we have anything interesting to play through. Just looking at this right now for any 8s. I don't think there are 7s. Ongade. Pass and hope for a G? Yeah. The best tile in Scrabble. In a manner of speaking. Okay, let's see here. I mean, I could actually just remember that we're playing in NWL, which unfortunately kills a couple of the X ideas that we have going down here. Yeah, because I don't think I can actually use that. We have a G dangling in the middle of nowhere, which always compels me to look for ING, but I don't think that's anything either. Likely what's going to happen here is I'll just try to play off the X somewhere like this, dangled a massive E hook. Could be a lot worse. That does get rid of the I for the idea of heading to the G, but let's just open things up. This is something. This is Neurolis. That's going to fit quite nicely if this lane remains open. And should actually look for some 8s here in the event that it doesn't. You've got Resouling going down to the G. That's not a great position, though. Just going to see if maybe there's something else. Maybe, let's see, D there. I'm trying to think of whether there would be anything in there in a 7 just without the S. I don't think there is. Also just checking the H. Of course, Neurolis can go in a couple of different locations. Ideally, this remains open. Not really going to count on it, though, given what a juicy location this can be in multiple respects. So, we'll just wait for the play to come down and see how things are going. But unless there is some kind of spectacular blockage that goes through here, or... well, we'll get something down. It's just that some of it positionally will look kind of bad. There is a Loiners through the E. Let's keep that in mind. It will be low scoring, but safe-ish. Yeah, as expected. That's going to come down. Now, do I have something that I can do over here? I don't think you can have Nixer, unfortunately. Because otherwise we'd just have a spectacular play going down there. Or at least I feel like I would have seen it before if it were actually the case, so... probably just going to go with Illoiners then. Low scoring, but not very risky either. Okay, the Q is generally just going to be in the way of things. Kind of wondering if spending the S for the extra 3 points here, just to duplicate, might be advisable. Probably not. But the second S with such a consonant-heavy rack is going to burden that somewhat. So yeah, definitely want to get rid of the Q somehow, though I wonder if I should just do a QI play next turn if nothing opens up, or just try to play through this and keep the Q and draw well into it, which almost never goes well. But I'm just thinking about the different things that I could be doing potentially with the K, so, you know, if you just go down here, that's about 30, it does dangle everything, but you might eventually get the Q into a playable state within a draw or two. But we'll see what he does and just respond accordingly. Yeah, definitely looking at some of the things that you can do down here, actually, and duplicating the K like that might be good. The Q is still going to be a massive burden, especially because it just doesn't play well with that ERS there. But if we need to do some kind of small Q play the turn after, we can do so. I think that's looking like the first choice right now. Might just draw a U into Kirsch or something eventually. A lot of things are still available here, so we'll just see what he does. Bit of a long turn for him. Okay, that's not going to go. The R does go on top over there. Yeah, just trying to figure out what we want to do with this. It might actually just be a turn where I play off the Q now that that is no longer available. Question is Q or just QIS for the extra 3? I'd probably just Q, because then I can still take advantage of the SK synergy somehow. The question is, if I just play off the Q, am I drawing into any potential 7s, or is just... But I'm thinking the equity trade-off from playing the S for 3 points is probably almost not worth it, given that we can just keep it for additional places. Down there. I think this actually is going to be a QI turn. And let's just see what we can do over this. So you have a super play over here. And just try to think about where it's going to go. Obviously, you do have the R hook on top of rope. But if all of that gets blocked, I'm thinking about what the alternatives can be. Okay, Tarleton. Okay, let's see. So I've got a couple of different options. I can... in any case, probably not play this in a location that actually hits a double or something. So, option 1, we would be doing something like this. Don't like that O position there. Or even this consonant that goes up there. This is not great either, but I guess it's surrounded by those additional consonants to constrain anything like a bingo to that position, whereas the SO up above wouldn't. 74 there. $77 there. I feel like this is going to go a little better. I really don't like either of them. I don't know also if Resoaks is good, but I feel like I don't want to risk it. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, the thinking here is that even though the E is going to be just as vulnerable to parallels, that this is less bingo prone than something like an ending that would go over the SO. But I guess we'll find out afterwards if I missed anything much, much bigger. Oh, Resoaks is good. Okay, fine. Alright then. Well, live and learn. Yeah, I just don't know sometimes about those RE words, because something like Soakers, I don't know if I would have even hit it by probability. Given that the double S would drop it way down on any kind of probability list you're looking at with 7s, and so... Yeah, extra typo. As far as the streams go, the consistency is going to waver just a little bit, I think, given that... well, I mean, this will probably continue week to week. We've had some smaller groups lately. But I'm actually going to be off for a couple days after this stream. I originally didn't know if I would be on for today's. But yeah, that's the kind of trade-off, I guess, is that when you have a consistent group to play with, that the time is just going to be set for you. In terms of content, the trade-off, of course, is that it's a little less flexible if you need to work around other content or work around other people's streaming plans as well. So now let's see what we can do here. Yeah, still looking at this location in case something will eventually go down there. I don't think I have anything particularly good right now. Looking at this, in case we just want to play off Guy or something like that, just to get rid of some of this stuff. 22 there. I feel like there's not going to be too much else we can do with this right now. And obviously this opens something up, but not much is going to land there very safely, and we have the H regardless. Or something like an AH ending. And here's the other Y. Okay. Notice that the SH hook is available. If we have something like a 6, that will go down. Probably nothing on this rack here. Notice that this H hook is also available. If we just want to go hey or hoy or something like that. Better if I can get rid of the V, but I don't think there's a good way to do that right now. Except maybe... I think... so this is one of those things that always confuses me. I feel like a Hove actually is good because I've seen the S hook, but it's also the place name for Brighton and Hove, and that stuff always throws me off when I see things that look like I might know them from some other source's proper names. I think it might actually be good, though. It does dangle everything a bit, but might be one of the better ways to get rid of the V, even with everything that could come down after it. We do have the blank, so it's okay, I think, if I think about opening up, especially if I'm behind. And okay, debug. Same idea here, that we can do the same sort of parallel with the H, like that, and that would prevent any parallels off the V, but also dangle a potential lane for me. 34. And also not obstruct space too much down here if we need it. Also, we should eventually keep an eye on this lane as well, in case it remains open. Yeah, still full of regrets here for what happened there with re-soaks. But can you have Weaselly? Like if you have through an H, I guess you wouldn't be able to do that. We're not going to be given some kind of really convenient E-lane just dangled in the middle of nowhere, though. I think at this stage he knows to close up as somebody who's 50 points ahead. That debug hit pretty hard for 41 points. Might as well just jot this down anyway in case it becomes relevant. Just trying to look at what else we could do with some of this. Still looking at this hook up here as well. That's going to be something that remains open for all kinds of back hooks. Yeah, right now just trying to think about what we can do just to keep pace with the score while we rebalance a little bit here. Would be very tempting ordinarily to be making some small plays off here. Can't really do anything with the Z, but I also don't want to block off too hard because we will need a bingo to catch up at this point, especially as the player holding the blank. Lots of game to go, though. 34 left in the bag. It's just that positionally, this is starting to close off a little bit. Yeah, just trying to look at this still in case we have something that would end there. But in the meantime, we wait. And also think about whether I have anything like a 5. Yeah, I think the idea, okay, he's going to be very vowel heavy. I actually wonder, even if we don't hit the double, if something like Wily is not too bad. Scores 23, it leaves the right side lane open. Because in terms of leave, that might be one of the better options. It does kind of close off here, but that's not really a great lane to begin with. Yeah, I guess we still have 2 lanes coming out of them. I'm just thinking about how to get into a position where the leave will actually be conducive to a bingo, and a lot of other scoring options don't seem to provide that. And so, you know, something like this, you know, you don't want to be just stuck with whiz and a blank unless I'm specifically going for something much bigger in some other spot. I actually don't mind this too much. 23 points rebalances quite a bit. This is assuming that I don't just have a 7 that I am not seeing. Let's just be absolutely diligent about this for just one moment here. No, let's just do it. Okay. Now we have to deal with the U. I'm getting closer to something, though. D will hook over here. A lot of things will hook there, actually, but the D is something that we should definitely keep in mind. Unfortunately, okay. It's going to be a baptism by fire. Alright, that could have gone better. I mean, that's the risk of just leaving everything open for myself, but... yeah, I guess right now I'm just seeing if we will have something that will go up top. Soyuz is, unfortunately, it's just a noun. Okay, in a bit of a rough spot. Well, right now, with this being the only open lane, I think I need to find some way to open up a little bit. And... yeah, just trying to arrange some things here. I don't know if we can afford to maybe just play off to Z in a very literal sense, and that doesn't open up for me at all, though. And it also kind of wrecks to wreck. But we need more than one big play at this point to get things going. Uzo. That's by far the best, I think. Easily the best. Doesn't open up, but it's best for the rack. Okay. Fortunately, can't have something like a dad fest or an odd fest. Can I find some kind of superlative here, though? A-E-I-O-U, no. I don't think so. Okay, so yeah, naturally he's going to start closing up. He knows that's going to be the threat. So, what can I actually do here? 15 left in a bag. I mean, there isn't really enough space on the board to make some kind of miracle comeback. But one thing I do know is that I definitely need lanes. Just trying to look at some of the things I can do here, perhaps, to get that going. And how can I actually open up? I mean, I can just try to do this and try to draw into a vowel. No, because that doesn't take anything in front. Yeah, this is really closed off. That still doesn't do anything for me positionally either. That would still be at least one move away from getting anything down, even if it does score for the time being. What I'm trying to think of is whether we can do something to create some space on the left side that I can hook onto. And I just don't see that with the current tiles that I have, so... it could be that the right thing to do is just to kick the can down the road by an additional turn, but I just don't see a good way to do it. Merlin, welcome. Glad to see you again. Hope the level building is going well. I don't like it. I mean, we're getting into this situation where I just have no place to play. I am trying to look for 9s through AI. That's a very long shot. But yeah, it looks like we'll continue to make some kind of adjustment plays here and there until we actually manage to create some space. And maybe the way to do it, I don't have the right vowels for that, unfortunately. If I had something like an A, I would have tried to create some kind of fork off the top left over here. But yeah, right now I don't see much as we could do, and I kind of knew that consciously, like, this was not really going to make any space for me. Yeah, I feel like resoaks, missing resoaks and like not being sure about resoaks was something that really put me way back in this game. Especially because that also would have avoided the issue with the parallel on that E. Merlin, you're getting faster with building every level? Yeah, that just comes with practice. Just from exercising that muscle. So yeah, currently just trying to do something through here. I doubt it, though. That's a very, very long shot. What we can do is maybe just drop that. He's almost certainly going to block it. I don't see a scenario where he doesn't try to block it. But we also really need some room to move. Unfortunately, just one play is just going to lock that down immediately, and that takes so many front hooks. I feel like we have to do it, though. In case... I'm just looking at the tile pool here. He's got... Let's see, 10 in the bag out of the pool of 17. I mean, he is going to have consonants that fit there. Almost all of the remaining consonants fit there. So I don't know if opening this is even worthwhile, given that there's just no chance on this thing. But if I can find some other way to stretch out, maybe threaten the top triple in a way that can't be so easily blocked. So, for example, I've got the only remaining O. He'll almost certainly block this way. Something like this would be opening up for the A, but if you do this, the only thing that's going to go over is the O, and that is an O that's kind of in a weird position, though. I don't know if that's going to do anything for me either. Just looking at the vowel pool here and seeing what we could possibly do. I mean, he's less likely to block this. If he does block... well, no, he is going to try to block this, obviously, but it won't just immediately kill the entire corner the way that we do on the other side. A D-O would open up for the A's, but right now we have two A's unseen, and I don't have them, so that's probably a bad idea. But yeah, because he'd just stretch that to the right. I feel like we're doing this. And I'm still looking at this thing here because I feel like there's... no. Just one short. But basically looking at stuff that looks like that. Like maybe, you know, detainers or something. I actually should have thought about that before playing Ode over there. Because if I played in the top lane instead, that would have continued to keep an eye on potentially drawing into 9s down here. Now I'm in a situation where he's very likely to play in a way that's going to block the 9. And yeah, Bynak, I think that's exactly right. That's... when I was weighing these two hooks, one thing I didn't consider was that I would still be going for something like a 9 through here. And I think part of that is just my own sort of cognitive bias as somebody who doesn't look for 9s very often or very well. Anyway, he's going to let me have it. Do we care about the position of the blank? Probably not. And we're going to lose anyway, but we'll lose with dignity. Yeah, in terms of what we're going to do with the finale here, I mean, the C does restrict the possibilities a little bit. So I'm just going to see if we have something like an out that is going to go down right away. I don't really think we do, but I should be looking. And yeah, Merlin, have a good bedtime then. And good luck with a border crossing, as well as your trip this weekend. I believe you were going to Italy. Have a good time over there. Okay, so let's see what else we can do. Yeah, I don't really see an out in 1 right now, so I'm just continuing to look at this. Also trying to check the music credits while we have some downtime. I'm pulling up a new playlist today that's all just some community video game arrangements that I hadn't listened to in, well, a scene that I hadn't kept up with in years and years, so I don't know these people anymore. I'm just seeing who's playing. But yeah, hopefully everything is looking and sounding good on the production side. And yeah, just looking at my opponent's rack right now, he is somebody who's also going to have a lot of trouble going out, in that he's just holding to one vowel and also has to deal with a C on his side as well. That basically means, for my purposes, that I can just think about out in 2. And I will, I think, get a chance to make 2 plays. And yeah, he's already won this game, but I think, you know, in terms of practicing some of this endgame optimization, it's always going to be helpful and productive. And yeah, just seeing if I can just do any kind of play with these off disconnected tiles, but I don't see it. Aji keeps the C. We don't want to keep the C by itself, though. We want to find some kind of play with the C first, given that it's going to be the thing that runs into the most trouble. Likely, what I'm looking at right now is just something like playing off the C, or K, or Cis, or something that just doubles it in a very trivial sense. And then we just find some place for the other tile. So. As far as this game goes, I mean, if we have a time between games, we'll look over it quickly just to see what else we missed other than resoaks. Even if we do have to speed through it fairly quickly. I mean, I was just straight up outgunned in some ways, where I was keeping lanes open and he got to them first, which is just going to happen sometimes. I feel like the endgame kind of worked out. We blundered into it, but at least I did manage to get the 9 down. I did have an out in 1, okay. Okay, I didn't see it. I was looking for something like an A to play through or something else. But that's exactly why. Or D or something. I just didn't see it, but I'm sure we can look at that afterwards and see. Oh, you know what? Okay, no. I think I'm blind. No. That's not what I was thinking of. Yeah, maybe I still don't see it. But we'll look at it afterwards then. Yeah, this board got surprisingly exhausted very quickly. Just in terms of everything just consuming space, probably just as a result of, you know, some of the corners that we were taking and just the way certain locations just got locked down. Let's just play this anywhere. It's not going to be all that consequential. Okay, so that's it for game one. Going to scrape slightly over 400 and lose by 80. This was lost, I think, a fair bit earlier. I think I was just too far behind after Baptize, with too few opportunities to open up additional lanes, since we were just counting on that, plus this one, and trying to hit early. So we can scroll back quickly and see what we missed. I won't have time to go through this really exhaustively. But let's just give it a look. Actually, I might not have any time at all. I might just have to go back to this afterwards, because we were the last game that our group was waiting on, and so... yeah, just going to do a very quick check here. We saw all this stuff. And... yeah, lots of choices over here. A bit of a weird-looking rack. Yeah, Resoaks is just much better. Arcoses, I didn't know that. That's also in the same set. Let's define that. And thank you for that, Redbeard. We lost, but it was a GG anyway, so... sedimentary rock formed by the cementation of sand-sized grains of feldspar and quartz. Interesting. Okay, didn't miss any 7s at least. I mean, I was fairly certain we didn't, but strategically I know I'm not really going through this, but we don't have time. And we found the only thing, which was detainers. But I think it was fairly clear what was going on in that game, so we'll just continue to the next round. Okay, second game will also be in NWL today. We have a little less Collins attendance than we usually do in this group. I will once again be going first. And ask, yes, exactly. And thanks for pointing that out. Just a weird enough sequence of letters that I wasn't looking at that very carefully. Okay. Make sure my drawing tool is up. We are a little bit stuffed on consonants right now, unless I have something that will play off a lot at once. I think I actually am just going to trade out of this, maybe keep RAT. Let's give this a mulligan. And okay, so a little bit too much duplication here. And he's going to exchange as well. Let's see if I actually have anything like a 7, or we could just, you know, do another exchange and turn this into a 6-pass game. I feel like that might actually be the optimal thing to do if I don't see anything. Yeah, very irritating that you are just short of irritation. I think I might actually exchange, like just dump in IR. And whoops, sorry, wrong one. Let's do this manually. I was trying to do the backspace key to cancel out of the exchange, and it wouldn't let me do that. I actually don't remember what the shortcut would be. Okay, this will surely be something. We'll have some kind of 8 to play through, I'm sure, but failing that, I believe Parroted is good, and you know, you have the whole party set, etc. Let's see if we would have something going down from the R or to the R. You got Dyterra, all kinds of stuff. I think I may be able to find some kind of parallel, maybe. I'd have to begin with a P since it's not going to go to any places. Maybe not. That's okay. We'll just do something else entirely. And let's try to find something that's actually going to go over this. I'm trying to just put the consonants on top of the A's. This is surprisingly kind of tricky. So let's see, what this set is what? Party, Dyterra, I think there's something else in there. Almost certainly, I think it's a gigantic one. Or we could look at anything that goes through the I. Parties, no. Should really be easier than what I'm doing here. Spending way too much time on something simple. Because we're down a few minutes and I haven't actually made a play yet, so... There's gotta be something much better than what I'm looking at. Just totally blind today. I mean, this would be terrible. Might just do something like that, though, and just stretch out. Because I'm just burning too much time. Let's do something. Opens up way too many hotspots. I'm sure I had something that would go there. It's just that I was looking at the different stars like PAT, PAD, and I just didn't see it for some reason. And nor did I see something stretching through the doubled I. But anyway, I burned way too much time on that turn. That's going to hit me pretty hard, but let's see if I can do anything through here. Yeah, a little bit too heavy on vowels in general right now. Might just do something like feudal. Keeps I-O. Yeah, okay, we'll do it. Missed some 2x2s through the I. I thought I did. I didn't look at the I for long enough, I think. Thank you for the follow. It was really surprising to me that I couldn't find anything through there. But we'll think about it afterwards. And yeah, it's been too long since I've actually looked at anything systematically in Zizava or Aerolith. Considering how often I've been playing recently, I really just haven't been doing very much systematic word study. And occasionally you really do feel the toll for that when you are looking for things in fairly high probability sequences. Okay, that's going to go down, and yeah, I mean, obviously the vowel problem in my end right now is a little bit unfortunate. Ideally, I can play off some of this stuff all at once, but you know, maybe just go bio or something. Still way too heavy on 15 points. If I were not stuffed with stuff like IIOO, I'd be looking at that. Although 36 points, I don't think that's going to be worth keeping IIOO though. But it's, what, 21 points over that play. We can put the O in front. Goes down to IIO. It's terrible, but it's also, I think, by far the highest scoring opportunity. I don't have a good intuitive sense sometimes of what the equity calculation will be with leaves that are genuinely terrible, because I think I often just write them off subjectively without looking at them all that carefully. Which might be a bit of a problem. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. He is going to be very vowel heavy. And yeah, just trying to think about what we can do. I might just do some kind of vowel play as well. 10 points. It keeps all those G's there, but yeah, unfortunately, O no longer goes down over there. Let's see this. This is going to open up like crazy, but and I obviously don't like keeping a double G, but I think that might at least get us out of some of this vowel trouble. I'd like to do a bigger play somewhere, like a longer word. Unfortunately, I don't think doggo is in the dictionary yet, for those of you wondering, because I'm sure that people are asking themselves why I'm not playing that. Hey, look at that, doggies. There we go, how convenient. It's not going to go in very many places, though. Right now, this is going to be the only hook for it. It's not a very good one. Aniseed. Yeah, and we can still go doggies down this way somehow. Let me just see how we're going to place it. I think the only placement will end with the S there. Assuming that I don't have anything else that's in here, and I don't think I do. Let's just take it. Just looking at this carefully to make sure we're not missing anything else. Yeah, I spent too much time on the early plays. I really do need to just play faster with the things that I'm seeing immediately. IIO is terrible, but it's only minus 18, which makes Obey worth it. Yeah, because I was thinking that, you know, if Obey is going to be like plus 20 past the nearest balancing play that I see, then you can still draw reasonably, and that's something that would be priced into the equity calculation. Yeah, Troy's going to hit there for 45. I don't think I have anything that will go in through parallels here. Obviously, if I'm looking at 8s, I would need to be playing through the E's. I don't think there's really anything else worth looking at other than maybe that RE there. So I'll just do a very quick look at this. I think I'm just much too heavily laden with consonants to be doing anything there, though, so. So yeah, nice thing about a D is that it will take an additional thing there. I don't know if I want to be doing something like that. I'm, in general, just way too stuffed with consonants. Don't really have anything to put over there either. Yeah. I think this is kind of defensible. Like, we'll just need to draw into vowels. Maybe not the best use of the H. But okay, this is almost something. Let's take a look at this. I see a whole bunch of 8s. Hoverer. I guess you can be a hoverer. Just thinking about that, that does open up quite considerably too. I feel like I am looking at something with this rack here. I see a bunch of 8s, you know, Halloweens and the like, but this is something that, if it is a 7, I would definitely have seen it through probability. I've looked at enough similar racks. I'm just looking at 8s as well to see if we would have anything. Like tonelets, notelets. I see too many 8s that just don't go. Note tonelets. I think it's tonelets. I think it's tonelets and notelets, actually, now that I think about it. I should consider this carefully first, in case we have something down the D on the left side. Maybe not. I think I'm confusing tonelets with notelets. Like it's one of the two, but like I'm looking at that now after I got it down, and like, okay, suddenly I'm not sure. Like I'm probably just thinking of notelets. If we don't see anything, I'll just do a small play down here. But I feel like I'm definitely looking at something. That's the thing that's very frustrating about these racks sometimes. Didn't look at the eye here. No, unfortunately not quite what we need for insolent. I feel like I'm definitely missing something, and I just don't want to burn too much time on looking at it. Might kick myself afterwards if tonelets actually is good, but I'm trying to remember like why I would be seeing that. And anyway, looking at this just to see if there is anything we can do down here. I mean, small plays with the W. Which leaves me with something reasonable to work with, perhaps. Not the most open thing we're dealing with here, but just also trying to see if I can maybe end with the W somehow, but I don't see it. Okay, this has got to be at least close to something. I'm still not looking at the eye carefully enough. But so doggo actually is good. Okay, I didn't know that. That's totally news to me. I would not have thought about it as an adverb either. Maybe the reason I didn't think it was good was because I wouldn't have seen a 7 like doggos or something. So anyway, that's some misinformation from my stream for you. Doggo is in fact good. Probably something on top here, unless we see a 7. I feel like my board vision is just not up to scratch today. Because this also looks extremely familiar. And I just don't know why. And Yeah, because this is so close to something like Escalar, I feel like maybe there's something in there. Escalope with an E. Does it also go without the E? That's something I think. It definitely is good as an 8 with the E. I'm just trying to think about this because like there's a bunch of stuff that looks like this, like with the A, sorry, with the R at the end, like Escalar, Escalope. So we'll see. I mean, failing anything else, if we're not sure, I can just take the 30 points over here, and I'm still reasonably close enough that, given that we're in bingo position, maybe it's better to not risk too much if I'm unsure about the result. So let's see what we can do. Okay, this is going to be illusion. Illusion will definitely go down here. Let's see if there is a better location for that. And I think illusion's the only thing I'm seeing here, unless there is something that would be like an 8 coming down from the T. Which would be like outlines and illusions. And so, no, we'll just go with this. Don't like that placement. Especially with a blank still into wild, but we'll make do with it. Okay, so now we've got a Q situation, which is on this board. Not going to be easy to work with. Likely what's going to happen is just I play QATS and get massively overstuffed with consonants going into the endgame. But staring at the blank still in the pool, okay, he's going to block that off, so. Hard to tell if he just doesn't have anything, or... Yeah, one tile in the bag, he's also going to be hedging on the Q potentially coming out. I think it's a pretty straightforward play here. I just need to draw into one of EO or blank. Otherwise, we have a really stuffed up endgame. But I think I have no choice but to play off the Q, unless you do one small play with a Q, draw into one, and that way we at least keep a vowel. So this is getting me into a situation where I have a 3 out of 8 chance of drawing consonants, and that's drawing vowels, and that's still an out in 2. Also, notice this thing here has just been open the whole time. You know, for something like alt or plays like that. I feel like he's going to jump on that if I don't do something. So yeah, current choices are, do I go Q and have a 7-tile rec that's at least guaranteed the A as a vowel that I can play from, or do I do QATS, which would actually open itself up to something like S blank Q, SUQ, because I think I should be assuming that he's holding both. I think we play off 1, because otherwise I have a really inflexible endgame and I definitely get outpaced for sure, especially against somebody with the blank. I don't see that the winning routes are going to really... Yeah, because if we just draw a consonant into this, then particularly if it's something like a V, then I'm just really dead. So do I do this, try to play through consonants, or yeah, we just do one tile? Nope. We draw the other M. I feel like he probably has something. Like I'm looking at something like the OUS ending. Oh, solvers. Okay, yeah, we lose. And yeah, let's just pass. I feel like I missed a whole bunch of stuff in this game, but we'll see. Like some of these placements were right off the bat just not great. It felt fairly close up to that point, though, up until Solver's coming down. Okay, so Escalope with the OP ending is good. I was wondering about that because, you know, I probably had seen some of the variants of it, but it was one that I just doubted. I was fairly confident that I could get 2 decent plays out of this, though, and I'm glad I did, even if this was not the best position to be working with. If we did have Escalope, this would have been the position for it, just down below RE and pay. So yeah, again, that's just a bit of a word knowledge issue in terms of not being totally confident in that double challenge. We'll see if I have time to step through this carefully before the next round opens up for me. So let's just step into the examiner. Yeah, exchange DGLV, that is what we did. Might go back to look at the first one too. He's not going to see, or maybe shy away from Pannier. And then, as I thought, no 7s. It is recommending some plays like that. Conditional on the fact that my opponent had also just exchanged, though, I think I was fine doing another exchange. As you can see, the value is pretty close. It's sort of within 3 points, and with the knowledge that my opponent just exchanged, I think this was the right play. Kanara is going to go down. Rapidity, okay, and Taperoid. Taperoid I don't think I would have seen. Oh, it's the same thing as a Tapir. So yeah, we did see stuff like Parotid. Oh, that's much better parallel, actually. That would not have saved me from the Z-Bomb that comes down next turn. In fact, it would open up multiple locations for Z-Bombs. But this part I just didn't see. I was trying to look for stuff with the S, and I just didn't see it. Yeah, so just missing rapidity there, that's quite a ways down from the optimal play. That's obviously going to be the Z-Bomb. Feudal, I'm glad I found that. Oh, look at this beautiful 9, Unwariest. Just going through here. That would have been fun. Unwariest on that 2x2 as well. Obey, and then Yuka. So yeah, Doggo actually is the best play here. So I shouldn't have convinced myself that it was likely not good. But we just need to remember that this doesn't take parallels. It's just an adverb form that doesn't seem to take much of anything, actually. Anyway, aniseed, look at this. Adenosine. Always love it when we step through this and just see all of the 9s that the bot is picking up. So when you see Doggies there, Doggies actually is the only play. Hind, or was this? Yeah, because this play I was struggling with a little bit because we were so consonant heavy. I really should have considered this parallel here. I think that's much better. I felt like this was maybe, in retrospect, not great. Oh, okay, this... Yeah, no, I was looking at DH endings, but I don't think I have anything particularly good. Like, I wouldn't want to do SIDH down here, I don't think. Score's 36. Nah, not with that leave. Hover is good, of course. Did doubt it for a moment here, but... Oh, no 7s, or rather no bingos at all in this rack, so I guess it wasn't tonelets. Maybe it is just notelets. Let me just check that. Yeah, okay, it is just notelet. I think maybe tonelet is just something I've tried before as a phony in that set when guessing at something there. But as you can see, no place. And so node is not unreasonable, I think. Given that everything here is just going to take the bottom corner to some extent. Maybe I am thinking of tonlets. Okay, yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah. And I probably just mixed that up with notelets on the same rack. Because I was looking at that and I was wondering why it was so familiar and why it also didn't look good. And I think it is because I've tried tonelets as a phony before in an actual game. I sort of suspect that's the case. And yeah, wet down here, cowl over here. I didn't think about cuke. I like that actually. Having cowl up there. Of course, just totally blind to this spot for the longest time. But yeah, I actually really like cowl in that position. I just didn't think about cuke as the front hook. Nyx is just going to go down, and yeah, this is where we miss Escalope in this position, and that's actually going to be the only thing in any of these places. But yeah, if I had an E to hook onto, like if I hadn't blocked this off, 100% I know it with Escalope. I just didn't know it for certain with this spelling. And yeah. At this point, he's tearing quite a ways ahead. Illusion in this spot is the only play. Vocables. Yeah, so he doesn't see that, but Vocable taking the S would be one that I might have shied from as well, so. And at that point, I think he knows priority is just to lock up the win, and that he can do it if he keeps the blanket going into this endgame situation where he doesn't know if he's going to draw into the queue as one of the 4 remaining tiles. I think if you know that you're in a queue endgame, I mean, keeping ELV blank isn't necessarily going to help you much either, but the blank is going to get you out of a lot of trouble in the event of a queue draw. So if he's thinking the score is really close, you could play this, draw into the queue, and still lose. So even if he had seen this, I think bank here is actually pretty okay, just given the unknowns. Oh, totally didn't see it. I do know the Paco hook, I just didn't look at that location. But in general, I was playing cautiously against drawing into the V and just drawing too many constants in general, and I didn't really think very hard about the obeys hook still being open, because I was mostly just looking at these lanes. Interestingly enough, QATS would have blocked obey, and it would have picked up the second M for something like MM on a parallel down the side. But yeah, actually lots of stuff you can do here. Over plus, over soul. Like I was saying, as soon as I saw what the remaining rack was, I was looking at potential US endings. And yeah, but so as the person holding the blank with a decent consonant vowel balance, I was not going to win this there. Even with the blank coming out very late, actually. Not that late. He picks it up on this turn. So yeah, we might have a bit of time to go through game 1 again, since I couldn't actually look at it with any care and attention. Let me just see what's going on with the lobby and whether we're waiting for some additional rounds to come in. So yeah, 2 losses so far today. But some very clear mistakes in terms of missing plays or backing off from plays that actually were good, like Resoaks in the first game. Escalope without the second E in this game. Yeah, we're still waiting on one game. Let me just see how they're doing just for time. Oh, they're just pretty close to finishing up now with the last few tiles. So, yeah, actually, you know what? Let's just watch the rest of this game here and see what they're doing here with the ending. Because I think pairings are going to come up pretty much immediately after that. Yeah, pretty closed off, this game. Let's just head back to the club lobby. Yeah, I don't know if there was anything else specific that I was looking for in the previous game. We can look at... what was it? Yeah, let me look at that ending again, actually. Just to step through it. So yeah, this was the position we were talking about earlier. It was playing ASCII for the out over there. I think at that point, though, not much else is going on in this game. Okay, so let's just step through this, since I didn't actually get to take a look earlier. But yeah, nothing missed on this turn. I should have thought about locks in that position. No. Although I think this play was fine, I wanted to open up with Nix and build towards a bingo almost immediately. And that's pretty much what happened. It's kind of much less good by evaluation just because of that O. Yeah, like I said, I did see most things here. All the decently scoring options were pretty much closed off. Yeah, he's got operate here and no place to play it. So Eloiners did block operated. And there's just nowhere else to go with it, which is kind of interesting on a board this early on. Yeah, so this was the QI play. It is actually evaluating about the same as QIS, which was the thing I was wondering about when I was actually playing through this. And then we saw some of this earlier, the soakers, re-soaks miss. Yeah, missing some other things here. And yeah, nothing here on this rack. I was looking at you in that position. It does evaluate best. I should have considered just going whiz, but again, that was just a judgment based on trying to draw into a bingo as soon as I could off one of the remaining lanes. We have detainers at the end. I think that's pretty much all we needed to look at. Okay, let's move on to round 3. So yeah, all games will be in NWL today. A lot of the call-ins people just were unable to show this time, so... Oh, we're just going to get the match request? Okay, we'll take it. Okay, I'll be going second. And as we can see right away, we have a UU situation. And we'll just have to figure out how to play out of that when it comes. Yeah, games are going by at a fairly quick clip today. Partly just giving the small group and therefore not a lot of time spent waiting for pairings. Considering how long I took on some of the turns in the games we played so far. Things have been really going pretty quickly. I'm tempted to just cross this with Ulu over here. Given that I'm looking at things I can do to actually get rid of my U's. I mean, you can have Uno somewhere, maybe. But no, actually, like, there's no good place to go, like, Uno. UNAU. It actually doesn't play, as far as I can tell. Just looking at this very carefully to make sure that's actually the case, but just see if we can maybe drop EAU somewhere. Maybe we'll just go like this. So either that for 10, or just this for 5, which might actually be better. Yeah, let's not do the stepladder, let's just do the cross. Now, this looks like it's close to something, but I know Banco is by itself good. I don't think it takes the ES ending, though. Might just take the S, but yeah, because Banco, I just know it from Baccarat, actually, and specifically from Casino Royale. I can also bring home the bacon. Okay, just going to have a lot of these small plays all over this game so far. We can just go bank and maybe open up the S for myself. We can also just go bacon, although I don't like the O in that position. Let's just go Banco. If we have an A to play through, we have Odonate. It doesn't fit with the A on the left. Whoops. Probably some other things that we can do with this. It's oh my goodness. It is totally criminal that I missed that. Yeah. I just didn't stop and think about that. Yeah, my board vision is, for some reason... Well, actually, just my playing ability today feels like way off, even by usual standards. But, you know, that's why we try to do some of this in public view. You're really doing that extra reinforcement of failing in a very embarrassing fashion. You just wanted to make that pun, yeah, it's well worth it. Well worth it. Be a con. Yeah, and I was looking at stuff like bacon as well, and so there's no reason I should have missed that. Okay, so like I said, I saw Odonates. I don't think I saw anything else here. What I can do is just maybe drop this. This is a really low-scoring affair so far. Just want to make sure I don't have anything that actually ends with the S. Like duotones? No, we don't have a U. Basically, a lot of stuff would normally go here, but I am also taking a look at this N in case we can double through it. No, let's just play this. This is Lornist. Lornist is going to fit up here on top of Ulu. Let's try to bring up the drawing tool. Probably something off the S as well. I feel like it's also entresol through to E. Lornist would have fit under Bell as well, but not anymore. I think we just go with it in this position. Unless I see a better fit. Or something else that we can play. This is just going to be rooting. But that's not going to fit anywhere right now either. We'll just keep it in mind in case it becomes relevant. Rogation, I want to say, is probably good. Not that we have an O to play through either. Or, sorry, an A to play through. And then there is some other stuff that this could potentially go to. Motoring. I don't think rotoring is good, but I've been wrong on several occasions today. So, the thing is, if I don't have a 7... What do we think of rooting taking an S? I feel like this is the kind of stuff that you can only do by memory and study. Oh, this is the rogation I was talking about. I feel like rogation's definitely good. I don't like the position there in terms of how we're dangling that N. Let's try it. Or rigatoni? No. That's a different set of vowels entirely. Yeah, rigatoni would have been, well, not without two O's. That's with two I's, yeah, that's right. I have to visualize some of this stuff sometimes. Yeah, I was definitely thinking for a moment about rooting with the S, but that was kind of uncertain. So let's see. We have Quinn over here. We'll keep it in mind in case we can extend it later with, I don't know, Quinellas or something. Yeah, currently just trying to see what we can do to get rid of some of this stuff. Might even just go per. Doesn't score very much, but it does get rid of the U problem, especially with the Q already down. I'm just making sure we're not missing anything else like an IUM ending or maybe an ISM ending. But I think we'll just take this. Oh, it's so close to some things that are actually good here, like dioxane and toxemia and so on, but instead we'll just deal with what we have. Probably just going to go something like radix. Failing that, we can put the X over there on hex. I feel like this is going to be a... Well, I was about to say this was going to be a decent turn either way, but then Vivid comes down and blocks both of those spots, and so... might just play off the X. Something like Fox, unless we see something much better. I'm definitely looking at some locations like that as well. I can't really do anything with the X there, though. This would mostly just be eventually for something like Dom or Dome or plays like that, but in terms of an X play, I think maybe something like Fox or Fix would probably be best. I don't know if I should be considering the pool too closely at this point, but the fact that we have 5 I's there and very few O's might be conditioning how I look at this. Sometimes I think I overvalue looking at the distribution in the remaining pool when making some of these decisions. But I think I want to keep the O anyway, so I can continue to think about that idea of going over Oda. And so, unless I see something better quickly, I think we'll just go with that. Okay, this is Diastome. It does not fit, unfortunately. So I feel like there might be something else in Diastome that we should maybe be looking at. And yeah, you got Mediator on an R, but that's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, Mediator dominates. Dominate doesn't go anywhere. Not seeing 7s, though. Really too bad about Diastome. That would have been such a fancy play if we actually managed to get it down there. I'm just trying to remember if it is in a set with something else. But failing all that, we will probably just go Dome or Dom. A bit of a vowel-heavy thing here, but it is a fairly consonant-heavy bag, so... Or maybe... I'm trying to think about... like Modi. Dump that I. And create a new ending for the E. Kind of like that. Assuming I didn't miss any 7s there. This is something like Eateries. I don't think it's going to be anything else. It's just too vowel heavy. I mean, we can keep that in mind in case one of the 3 remaining R's go down, but I think the priority this turn is just to dump as many E's as we can. And... oh, why was I thinking Diastome? Is that looking... if atomized is the only thing there, why was I... does this look like something that I am thinking of instead? Like with a DIA start? Or maybe... no, I think it's Diastome, right? Diastome. And... yeah, Diastome goes with like Modiste and something else. Okay, so... yeah, having a lot of knowledge issues today, unfortunately. Diastem, maybe so, maybe so. Or... yeah, I'm just thinking about that. I may be thinking of that. I think I may just be thinking of Diastome, though. I think Diastome, just with the DI, is good. Okay, we'll probably just go with this. No, sorry, not T-E-A, but T-E-A. Or maybe just go a key. It does open up that spot under the A, but there isn't a lot that's going to bomb me out there. Just a lot of the 4-point tiles. And I like the leave. And we have the W to work with as well. In fact, you know, if you wanted to do something over here, you can. going to close things off quite nicely. In fact, if I would rather play to close, I'm not ahead by very much right now. Stewiest. Let's consider that. I think that's likely to be good. But never mind, the S is going to get blocked off anyway. IEST. Here's an idea. Quintets. 51. Kind of like that, actually. I mean, you know, we could always try to get into bingo mode, but I think given how far behind I am, I would just want to take points right now. And yeah, we can just jump on that immediately. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one, actually. It does drop my S, but on a board where the S is increasingly not that useful, although there was the ES ending over soda. That was maybe the one thing that we were giving up there by not going for bingo instead. Even if we were going for bingo, though, that would likely have been just for a W play. That would have opened up something on the bottom, as well as keeping this up top. I don't know, currently with the kind of score that we're looking at, if I wanted that kind of volatility, but we'll see. Right now, I mean, I don't want to dangle the Z on top, but let's see what we're capable of. Probably just something like Wiry for the 30 points over here. It undoubles the I, gets rid of the W, also keeps a lot of scoring potential in hand. No S's remaining, but one blank still in the bag. Stewie doesn't compare, really? Okay. Yeah, I guess you can't have one meal that's stewier rather than the other one. But yeah, currently definitely looking at Wiry as the first choice. Doesn't really open up, and it seems to be the best thing for the rack. Yeah, I wonder if we had some other extensions that were available earlier on that didn't use the S. Despite looking at that quickly when Quinn went down, I don't think I had really been considering it from turn to turn. Yeah, something like Zaire would open up considerably. Don't really know if I want to do that with a blank unseen. We'll just wait out this turn and see what happens. Currently looking at this too to see if there's anything that will combo well over there, but I don't think so. If we do have some great place to drop something like Wares, or maybe even dangled Z hook as something that's a little bit harder to see, we can consider that, but right now I don't see a place where that would be a useful idea. Also looking at this spot here. So yeah, W is going to go down there. I think we just go Wiry as planned. We have some things like Ionize and so on. I actually am seriously considering just playing Ionize as a 6 going there. That scores 54. I think that's great. It does dangle the Z in that position, but it also starts to block off bingo counters. We have an alternative over here, 57. So basically, I have 2 spots to do reasonably well with Ionize. I think between the two, I will want to take the top position, and we're going to be forced there anyway. And we're going to draw into the blank at the very end, which is convenient. But the idea behind playing up there instead of off to the right side is that with the blank unseen, I definitely didn't want that to remain open. But I'm feeling pretty comfortable with my situation here at this point. I think it's fairly likely that I have an out, given that a lot of things end with Anga. And maybe we have something down here too, like Nagas. Yeah, something like Nagas would be an out. And indeed, that would fit in a couple of different positions. So Naga's over here for 13. 13, same idea. So we have 2 outs for 13. I'm going to keep looking for anything much better, but at this stage, I think we're going to be pretty comfortable coming out of this. So, just going to wait for the play here with just 1 vowel on my opponent's side. I'm just considering what I would do in her position. I think she's got a very obvious play, which is going to be Prez down here, if she sees it. I think in terms of what I'm seeing on that rack, I do just need to give up on the idea of going out, and yeah, Prez is going to go down. Exactly. Let me just make sure I don't have anything really good that, you know, like manage, like that. Manage. Yeah, we can do that. In fact, it's going to score 27. That's by far the best. It'll fit quite miraculously, actually. And yeah, kind of nice to finish like that when I was ready to just dump the tiles off and get it over with. Okay, we have to check this thing. I believe Die Stone is good, yeah. Because there's the whole set there. So yeah, it's Die Stem and Die Stone. And then Atomize was the thing we missed earlier. Okay, so going to come away from today with a 1 and 2 record. We'll step through this one quickly just to see what other spectacular things we missed. But then we'll just be finishing on that, so. Yeah, that was Fremd. Okay, I'm trying to see where you would go with that. That is a very difficult rack to be working with. I guess you with the MD ending down here? FREMD? I guess so. Quintets was not a 3x3, it was an extension off Quinn. So Quinn went down fairly early on, and I was in a bit of a close game situation, and I just decided to give up on building towards a bingo and just spend my S on grabbing 50 points for quintets, which is a decision I'm pretty happy with. So let's go back over this and just take a look. Okay, LA. So yeah, I was looking for a spot for Unao or something. I didn't actually think about Luau, but yeah, you can see why this is a very low-scoring start from both of us. Okay, this was the one where I missed beacons, even though I was looking at bacons and all that stuff. So yeah, this was just an embarrassing miss. I cannot believe I just basically looked at that on my rack and didn't play it. Okay. Yeah, some fairly vowel-heavy racks early. Oh, I just missed snooted. I was looking at... I was kind of fixated on finding 8s. And because I'd seen, you know, things like duotones and whichever one goes through, like odonates, I think. I just didn't think about snooted. So... Bingo Vision took a real hit today. Where did I miss Lornus? Oh, I didn't think about E-Hook. Okay. Because as soon as I saw this go down, I was thinking, okay, I guess no point in ending with ST. And I didn't even stop to think about EST. So I just kind of played out of this too quickly without properly looking at the bell hook there. Not to be confused with the poet, bell hooks. And yeah, extra typo, happy pizza. And hope you're picking up something nice. Look at this fantastic play here. This 9 that hooks onto both of the LA's stone chat. No chance either of us sees that in this game, but this is the kind of bot play that makes the analyzer worthwhile. It is a bird of the genus Saxicola. Yeah. Amazing if you can get it down. She's going to get hatters, though. That's fine. So yeah, I saw rogation, rootling... Yeah, I guess no rootings. Unless that's a Collins thing. Because I know a lot of the INGS is Collins only. It's not when you throw rocks at chat? Well, it might as well be. When chat is inactive. Yeah, exactly. It's a stone chat. I like that. That's going to be a memorable one if you ever have the opportunity to fit something like that again. Well, I mean, when chat is inactive and you also throw rocks at it, I think then you kind of have a stone chat in both senses. Just going to plug that into stone chat for posterity. Anyway, rogation, obviously the N is kind of in a bit of a dangerous position. Didn't think about rootling. I think rootling probably looks safest. And roosting. Let me do a quick lexicon check here, actually, with roosting. Sorry. Rootings, yeah. So rootings is Collins only. So this is where Quinn goes down. Okay, she's actually holding both the J and the Q at this point, I think. Yeah, I mean, everything's going to leave you in a bit of a sticky situation. I think might as well get rid of the Q while you can. Although I'm sort of immediately thinking about extensions from that point. Armpit. Didn't look at that. What did I even do here? Oh, yeah, because I was just trying to prioritize dumping off the U, and I just didn't look very carefully at some higher scoring options that would give me a bit more to work with. Oh, I feel like I was looking at this position and I just didn't think about mod for whatever reason. Yeah, so Vivid, it kind of kills off a lot of the ideas I have for the X. Oh, add mixed, I just missed it. Okay. I mean, I think we can see from the previous few turns that I just wasn't looking at 6s here. I just wasn't really even thinking about it. And so I'm just doing a bit of rebalancing here without considering that plays like that are actually available. Yeah, because I'm just sort of jostling around here to try to set up my rack. And the reason I chose Fix over Fox is because of the tile pool. Again, I don't know if that was because of the tile pool and the availability of the O hook over here. I don't know if that's a good reason, but I think with a bit of a 3-point difference in evaluation for one vowel, I think that's okay if I'm going to be missing stuff like add mixed. So yeah, it looks like the J gets held for a while. Look at this on board that just stretches through disconnected tiles. The fixated extension I didn't think about. Yeah, this was very much a sort of open up for bingo potential play, and then I just end up blocking that by the end, or using that, let's say. Okay, bank goes down all the way down here rather than up here. Yeah, bit of an unenviable rack anyway, just a lot of clunk on it. And not a great way to get rid of anything. A key I was pretty happy with. I didn't think that the counterplay below the A was going to be a big threat. Fixates, Given the situation, I think I keep EIST. Especially with the ES still available up top. Yeah, a lot of big plays that are available here. That would have closed off the quintets idea pretty quickly. With the Y plays here. A couple of difficult fits to see maybe, but definitely turning over a lot of tiles like that and having the C over the triple looks great. Given the spread here at this point, this would have been a really, really good play, actually, I think. So yeah, quintets, this is the first extension that was available to me, and I jump on it. So these were the two plays I was considering. This would have dangled something on the bottom, but it would have followed the idea of keeping two lanes open, potential bingos. And I thought, okay, given the spread and the closure of the board, I think I just want to jump on scoring, and so that's what we did. Yeah. Let's see here. I don't think I would have dangled the Z there, so pretty happy with Wiry. And yeah, definitely some consonant issues that are going to come up. At this point, the rack actually looks reasonably balanced, but it's not going to remain the case. Ionize I was very happy with. Zanier, far too open with blank unseen. And yeah, I think I was completely happy with that play. So we have Perez here, we have Fremd coming down here because of the... If you're thinking ahead to what my nearest play is going to be, since that doesn't give away manage. Of course, you have to be thinking ahead to see my counterplay for that. But at this point, we're just going to take the win over here. That is going to be the best available play, which is always satisfying when you are using the blank in the endgame. Okay, fairly straightforward one. Glad we went through that just to see Stone Chat. And that is going to be it for this stream today. Pretty quick session, actually. This is one of the quickest streams I've had, I think. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining me. Bynack, I don't know if you're doing the Los Angeles stream later. Okay, you are, okay. So, yeah, good luck with that. We'll... Maybe... If you're starting up right now, I might be able to send you the raid, but if not, if you're going to be a few minutes, then everybody can just head over to follow Bynack and see a little bit more club play. And thank you for the follow, Elderword. Let's just give Bynack a quick shout out here. If he's not on immediately for a raid, we'll just cut off here, and I recommend that you all go over there for some continued Scrabble action. I'm going to be off stream for the next few days. We're usually back for Scrabble in this time slot with Super Mario Maker on the weekends. This weekend I might be off just for some technical reasons, but soon enough we'll be back, and the schedule will probably continue next week, more or less as before. So, thanks again for joining me for the games today. And... have a good evening, good night, wherever you are. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll either send you on or... Yeah, Bynack is online. Let's just send you over there right now. And aside from all that, enjoy that stream and fare thee well.